On Daf 5 of Eruvin, we get a comment that actually relates to something I was just sharing just a couple of days ago. It's cool to see the themes coming up and doubling up. That talked about that how rabbinic rulings, we treat them more leniently. So if there's a Torah law, you really don't want to mess with it. You don't want to be breaking it. So we might be very strict. If there's a question mark, we want to go towards the side of strictness, towards not violating the Torah law. But it says in today's daf that on Daf 5 of Eruvin that, you know what, we actually, for rabbinic ideas and for rabbinic injunctions, we're going to be lenient. We try to make these things lenient if there's a debate on something that is rabbinic. And it's an incredibly important point that we need to know the difference between mitzvot that are from the Torah and those that are from the rabbis. And in our classic example of this, the story of Gan Eden, that God tells Adam, do not eat from the tree, nor that lest you shall die. Do not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. But later, when Eve is talking to the snake, she repeats his words differently. She says, we're not supposed to eat from the tree nor even touch it. So where does this even touch it thing come from? And the rabbis want to say that, you know what, that is kind of like, that's like the first rabbinic law, that Adam, trying to be smart, said, you know what, Eve, I'll tell you what, let's not even touch the tree. Adam added, he thought, you know what, I'll tell Eve, don't eat it and don't even touch it, because if she doesn't touch it, then she's going to be really careful. She won't come to eat it either. The problem was the snake said, oh, really? You can't eat it or touch it or else you die? So the snake pushes Eve into the tree. She hits the tree and she's like, wow, I touched the tree and I didn't die. It must be that whole thing about eating wasn't true either. But we have to see that it's important that we have rabbinic law. Adam was right to a certain extent that it was good to have a fence around the Torah law. Let's stay far away from the tree lest we come to eat it. But we need to understand the distinction, because sometimes one thing or another has to bend. And if we don't know what is more important and what is less important, we don't know where to be flexible. So we have this rule here today in today's daf that when you have a question on something rabbinic, we go toward the lenient side on the rabbinic questions.